Hello everyone, how y'all doing? Hope you have a great day so far. Welcome to another video. This is one of those more relaxed chatting videos that I sometimes do to let my patrons know what I'm up to or what I've been working on. And I think I haven't done one in November, so it would be nice to do another one in December. Apologies for being in robe. It's cold in Portugal and I'm lazy to get properly dressed, so whatever, I don't care. I have flashbacks from when I started doing YouTube videos, and my father finally realized that I was doing YouTube videos, and he saw one, and the only comment that he gave me was that it was very low form to do videos in your pajamas or robe, and I henceforth kept doing them because fuck you, father. So yeah, that's the issue number one. So what I've been doing, so Inércia pretty much. Inércia, a lot of work for Inércia, a lot of logistics stuff to get done. Trying to balance the demoscene report at the same time, try to keep doing it every single week. And I managed to do it, pull through the entire Inércia before and after Inércia and still do demoscene report. I was actually at the Inércia organizing stuff and spamming the video out. So that was interesting. And some other organizers were like, you are at the booth organizing compos. How are you spamming stuff? Like multitasking. You just need internet. But yeah, once you have the plan laid out of what to do, and I've done it so many times by now that it's relatively easy. I know which platforms to go and what to spam where, so it's not that hard to do that. It's like 5-10 minutes. And I could squeeze that while answering questions to other people and doing other party stuff. So yeah, the main bottleneck of time-consuming things that happens for every demoscene report is actually uploading all of the screenshots to Demozoo to make sure that everything's proper and checking all of the releases so you know that you have content of what to say and something that makes sense, not just, hey, this is another entry. You need to actually do the minimum to do, and sometimes I fail, sometimes I don't have enough time. I don't know enough of the platform to give proper, meaningful information. I just say the standard thing that I would usually say when watching the production for the first time with my limited knowledge base. But it's impossible to know everything about all of the demoscene platforms, and I think the demoscene report still has value regardless if I know more or less about specific platform that I'm talking about. And it actually links to versus number 10. So while I was organizing Inércia, and while Silly Venture was happening, a new disc mag was released for the Amiga, versus number 10. Which already a bit of a red light that you release a demoscene production outside of any demo parties. Well, there are 2 demo parties happening on that same weekend. So that's already a bit of a red flag for me. And then there was this particular article saying, please don't watch these demoscene report videos. So yeah, that was a bit weird. So I read the article, and it's Gandhi, who I've worked for many years now. We were co-editors of some stuff, saying that I'm a very nice guy, but that I shouldn't be doing those videos, and that those videos don't make sense for regular demo sceners, that they should avoid them and just check the releases themselves instead of watching the video. So yeah, I was a bit annoyed with that. And then Browalia also added some comments on that, and Browalia's feedback was more on point than Gandhi's. I think Gandhi watched like one video, didn't get the point, and just talked shit about it because he wanted to make an article about it. And he didn't reach me for comments on any sort. I think he might have said that he was going to write an article about it, and that's fine. Everyone is entitled to their opinion, but when you're doing proper journalism and you're writing this article, you should, ask them for comment on specific things, not just let them know, hey, I'm writing a shit comment about a shit article about you. So yeah, Gandhi misunderstood the point of the videos, and not only did he misunderstood, he didn't bother watching enough videos to understand. He didn't bother asking me about it enough to understand. He didn't bother talking with other people who watch the videos to understand what the point of the videos are. But he made a specific note to make sure that on his disc mag, he talks that people should not watch them. So that's like going back to kindergarten and going back to early Flame Wars, and I just ignored it completely on the demoscene report. But it does have a valid feedback point in the terms that some demosceners will never like whatever it is that you do, even if it is or is not targeted to them. And the particular feedback that I laughed at was that maybe I should not be focusing on the entire demo scene. I should just be focusing on the PC scene, because this is where I come from. So it's like, woman, go back to the kitchen, where to your natural habitat. No, that's not the point. One, the demo scene is multi-platform. I always seen the demo scene in multi-platform. The fact that I started on the PC scene, and that's what I have more experience programming and doing music for and doing graphics for, doesn't mean that I haven't followed the other demo sceners. I probably follow more Amiga and Atari demo scene than a lot of Amiga and Atari demo sceners do. I probably know the ZX Spectrum demo scene a lot better than a lot of ZX Spectrum demo sceners do. I wouldn't go as far for the Commodore 64 scene because it's very specific, but I also follow the Commodore 64 scene. I follow all of the demo scene in entirety. Having these pockets of only my platform is ridiculous. It's been ridiculous for like 20 years now. People who watch demos in multiple platforms. They do demos in multiple platforms. This platform war that used to be so popular in the late 90s or late 80s even doesn't make any sense anymore. It hasn't been making any sense for the last 20 years. So okay, I understand some people are like nostalgic for their own platform. That's where they were doing things, where they still focus their main effort. That's fine. You can be in love with your platform. You can do things specific for your platform. Don't tell other people that they shouldn't look at other platforms. They'll do whatever the hell they want. And if I want to check stuff from other platforms, I will. And if I want to talk about it, I will. Because I can. Everyone can talk about anything. That's the beauty of the internet. You don't have to respect me for it. You know, balance your own expectations. If you know that I'm not a very active Commodore 64 scener, it's normal that I will say some things wrong about Commodore 64, and you can take the wonderful opportunity to let me know on the comments, you know, you are saying this specific thing wrong. And it's good for me because I become educated in the platform, and it's good for the viewers because they get to know more about the platform. That's the point. I don't take offense when people come to the channel and say something, okay, you said this wrong. I think that's great. I don't know everything. I don't claim to know everything. I will never know everything. And my memory is not as good as it used to be. So yeah, I welcome those kind of comments. It's good. I don't take offense to people correcting when I say something wrong. I'm grateful that people correct me when I say something wrong. Hopefully I will remember it and say it properly the next time. The work that I'm trying to do with the demoscene report, and I think this, for people who are watching this video, they already know this, but I'm going to repeat it anyway for in case there's like a new viewer watching out there. The point of the demoscene report is to make a summary of what's been happening in the demo scene, and it's mostly useful for people who don't keep a very close mind don't follow it all the time. So it plays two roles. It plays that role of keeping you up to date with what's been happening. And this is something that has been needed since the beginning of the demo scene. That was the genesis of what disc mags and newsletters were about. That's how I got into the demo scene to begin with. I was doing Demo Journal back in '98. So I know about the field. I know where the value is and why some people don't see value in it. I mean, if you don't care about what is happening in the demo scene on the regular basis, it's fine. You can ignore the video and go do something else. If you think that you get the same out of just going to Puet or going to DemoZoo and checking the latest entries, that's fine. What I do in my video is that I aggregate all the news that I've been finding. So if you are looking for something new, you can search there on the list and you will find it there. I also been putting the links on the DemoZoo thread. So if you search DemoZoo forum for that specific thing, keyword, whatever, you will be able to find the thing. This is useful in case like in 2, 3, 4 months, 6 months, I don't know, however, you remember, I remember this news item about related to the demo scene of this guy that was doing something with, I don't know, Apple II. So if you search there Apple II, you will find the video of the guy doing stuff with Apple II, even if you can't find it on Google or on YouTube. That's the point. That's the main... That's why we do lists of things. And then the other value is, of course, for newcomers. People who don't know what the demo scene is, or they just return to the demo scene. They don't know what's happening. If they see one of these videos, they will see the latest demos. I will explain, I'm going through all the lists of the releases from this party. This one in particular is really good because this, and that. And they might look into that. Or they are starting to... trying to develop for, I don't know, Amiga. And they, by watching my videos, sometimes I talk about updates for the toolchains that exist for Amiga, and they will find the links to those things and get more proficient in those things. So this is the value. So yeah, for some demo sceners, there might not be much value in the video. That's fine. That's fine. There's a saying in Portuguese that we only miss the people who are there. So if you don't care about the video, that's fine. You don't need to care. I focus on the people who do find value on the report. And that's the main thing. And I didn't bring this subject at all during the demo scene report that I just recorded because it's noise for the viewer. I talk it now because this is a chat and I'm just explaining what I've been going throughout the month and what I'm planning to do. But on the report itself, I completely avoided that talk because it's just noise. It's irrelevant. Whenever I see those kind of flame wars and discussions that bring nothing relevant at all, I don't mention them. I only mention flame wars when they are actually discussing something useful that is worth being discussed and talked about in public, and that has concrete things that changed, like a party changed these rules. Then it's worth noticing about. If it's some drama discussion about something that's been reoccurring for the 5th time, it's not worth wasting people's time about it. When people are watching the demo scene report, they want to know what's new. They don't want to get unraveled into the drama. And believe me, I could easily make a parallel video just talking about weird shit that happens in the demo scene on a weekly basis. And yeah, I would have a lot of food for thought there. And I even remember some projects from some people who wanted to do something similar like that, and I told them, why? That's just negative. You're like focusing on the negative aspect of the demo scene. That's not what I want to focus on. I want to punch up, you know? I don't want to punch down. Why do I want to start shit up with someone? It doesn't make any sense. I go to great lengths, or I try to go to great lengths to avoid, name calling people or saying something negative about someone. I try to bring out the positive things about it and double think when I'm doing that. Sometimes I don't do that right. I've been called out for still saying negative things about people, even though in my head I stood back and I went to great lengths to avoid saying negative things, and just try to say it as neutral as possible. People still sometimes get offended, and it happens. I can't help how people feel. I just can. The only thing that I can do is try to do my best to be as unbiased as possible, treat everyone the same as I wish they would treat me. And try to be as clear about things as I can. And if someone has doubts, I can do follow-up videos explaining where my stance on those things are, and people can make a decision. If they don't want to watch the videos, that's fine. Don't watch the videos. I don't care. That's my position, though. As a person, as a amateur reporter of some sort, that's my stance. I try to be as unbiased as possible. I'm friends with some people. I'm not so much friends with other people. I try to be as unbiased as possible. Just report what is new, what is interesting for the target audience, which is, as I mentioned, people who are in the demo scene but don't really keep up to date with what's new. They might find value in those videos, and people completely new to the demo scene that just drop by and want to find what the hell this is all about, what the hell am I talking about. And it's also hard to balance those two worlds because you would target things differently. The vocabulary is different. When I'm talking to a known demo scener, I assume that they know what a compo is, they know what a party is, and when I'm talking to a completely new person, they might not know what it is. So it's just an example. So the language would be different, and if I could multiply myself and there would be 2 PSs with 24 hours to do videos, I would do one targeted specifically just for newcomers and one targeted specifically just for veteran demosceners. But unfortunately, I don't have free time to do all that, so I have to do a mixed merge and try to find the common ground. So this is the demoscene report, and it tries to be a little bit open to both newcomers and demosceners without boring one or the other too much. Boring or alienating in some way. So it's a trade-off. It's not something I'm completely happy with, but it is what it is. Anyways, I found it interesting, fascinating even, that some people go to lengths to write an article saying something that they didn't understand about something, instead of just ignoring or trying to find something positive in it. I find that extremely mediocre and low level and backwards, and it feels like it's clearly trying to stir up a flame war and trying to get attention out of that. I don't know if this was years of doing that in different disc mags throughout the years that brings that out of Gandhi in this particular article. But yeah, it feels like, yeah, I'm going to talk shit about this because then they're going to talk shit about me, and then people are going to read this, and then I don't know. I'm too old for that shit. Sorry. I just don't care about it. I punch up, I don't punch down. That's the bottom line. So yeah, I do appreciate the feedback. Wish they would have told me that in private instead of making a public weirdness about it. But yeah, I understand the feedback. It's not for everyone, and sometimes I don't focus on all the things that I do. So there was some useful feedback in that. Nothing that I hadn't already considered before, but it's useful to know about it anyways, because I can sort of count how many people it influences this way and how many people are detracted from watching the video because of those reasons. Another point is that for people who watch the video one time and never come back, why would I cater to what they would want? If they are not coming back to watch the videos again, it doesn't make any sense that I'm alienating the people who are coming back to try to cater to the people who are not coming back. So I'm focusing on the people who do find value on the things that I do. And I think that's what everyone should do on a personal basis. You know, find the target audience that you want, channel to that, focus on that, so that it's not cohesive. What's the word for this? It's not coherent. People know what to expect. That's the main thing, is that people can know what to expect when they come to the videos. Even if you evolve the format a little bit throughout the time, and I've been doing that a little bit with demoscene report, the main important thing is that people, once they've seen it and they understood what it is, they know what they are in for when they come back. And then the numbers will speak for themselves. If it keeps rising, it's interesting for more people. If it starts dwindling, then it's not so interesting, and you need to figure out something else to do that will retarget or re-find a new target or pivot somehow to open up to new targets or change the format completely, which was somewhat what I did with Mystery Demoscene Theater 9000, although also for other reasons. I stopped doing live streams because with the kid it became impossible to do them. Not impossible, but very, very troublesome. So it's a lot easier to just record videos instead. I can find a better time slot. It doesn't have to be that specific time where you go live, so it's a much easier. So that's why I pivoted to doing videos instead of live streams, in case you don't know. Anyways, enough about versus and that stuff. Inércia. So I've been working on Inércia for a very long time, trying to prepare everything for that. Ignoring a lot of the things. I held back a lot of Enough Records things to focus on Inércia. And finally it happened. Was some work, not as bad as last year in terms of difficulty of organizing things. We had a slightly larger organizing team. We were more focused. We had more people. We managed to delegate a bit more. So in that regard, it went a lot smoother. In terms of events, we also were a bit less packed, which was good. We delegated all of the DJ stuff to the after party, which was a bit of a pickle on itself. You expect some DJs to just... how can I say this? I need to find 6 DJs to fill out those hours. So I try to get demoscene DJs first priority, and then I go to friends who would be interested in playing music, or anyone just interested in playing music. That's how I managed to fill up the slots. Then, of course, we want a coherent night, and we want something that fits the venue. And some DJs are just, I'll do whatever works best for the party, and they're flexible like that. And others expect you to work for it. They expect you ask what the set is, they say that they don't know, and then they complain that, oh, you put me on this hour and this wasn't very good with the first hour. In my head, a DJ adapts to the place, not the other way around. And it's hard to slot you in to the best place when we don't know the dynamics of the whole night. And also, we have different people coming in at different times, and we had some changes which worked on the second night. For example, we switched the order, and it worked a lot better as far as I knew. I still have to talk with more people to have more feedback, but it worked better. But I'm not your mother. I can't go around and fix your troubles for you. You need to be proactive, and if you see something wrong that you can fix, try to fix it. And it's one of the things that really takes a lot of time from organizing a demo party, is when you start handling all of the logistics yourself instead of people. You start becoming middleman to other people's logistics. That's when things start to crumble. And I delegated as much as possible of the after party for Willem to take care of, and he did a good job in that regard. I didn't really bother much, but still some DJs were like pinging me about things like, okay, this is the person in charge, talk with them, stop bothering me. But the message didn't come through, and they didn't even show up to the main event, so it was just badly picked in this particular case. Or not, I don't know. I mean, I have trouble since I'm active in so many different scenes, the net label and the demo scene at the same time. So sometimes I try to cross bridge the worlds, because for me it makes sense, because it's all one thing. It's all people doing art and showcasing to other people. But a lot of people seem to be living in this world of their own, where they are the artist and they need to fit. Someone needs to help them fit into places, and the place should adapt to the person. And I don't live like that. I don't work like that. It doesn't make sense to do like that. Maybe in some galleries it makes sense. If we had limited funding, maybe I should cater to that, specific event just for this artist, and good luck getting people to be there. But the idea is that you organize the place and then things emerge organically. That's what I'm trying to do with Inércia, provide the place and then tell people, yay, this is happening. Do you want to do something here? And if you want, that's awesome. If you don't, that's fine as well, whatever rocks your boat. But then capitalism comes and people start thinking, oh, okay, but now I'm doing you a favor. I'm going there to your party, so maybe you should, pay me for the expenses of going there. Okay, that's great, but I don't have institutional money to pay people to come here. All of the volunteers, all of the 20 organizers are working for free for multiple days to put this together. The place is offered for free. We have a little bit of money for the competitions. We get donations and sponsorships to cover, t-shirts and rental costs of projector and stuff like that. We don't have money for expenses. We don't have money to pay ourselves. So I wish if we were living in the perfect world, I wish we would get 10,000 euros from the government to organize an event, and I would pay everyone to come and do stuff. And even then, I don't think people would be happy, because I think this is fundamentally people's problem. Some people just want to do stuff for fun, and other people are in that stage of their life where they don't care about having fun. They care about having money, and they care about doing their own thing. And that's fine as well. I'm a bit in that club as well, that I don't... Sometimes it's not worth the hassle of doing things, but you have to recognize what kind of event it is that you're going to. If it's something where you're just going there and trying to be creative with other people, or if it's something where there is funding and you can actually get some money out of it for doing the things that you like doing. And yeah, you try to be as upfront as possible, but when you're reaching out to new people who haven't never attended a demo party, it can be hard to pass that information along. They still expect some compensation for stuff. And we had this problem in the past as well, you know. We try to reach out to other scenes. They are active in the digital arts to, you know, just come. Do you want to come here and showcase? You know, we can give you an opening for 15 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour, whatever you want to show. I think it will be interesting for the audience, and you know, you would have audience for the stuff that you are doing. And they, okay, yeah, can you pay me dinner? Can you pay me the travel to go there? Like, yeah, sure. I can not eat for a day to give you food, and I can take money from my own pocket to pay you an Uber to come to the venue on the city where you live. But it's a bit weird that I'm doing that while I'm not getting paid for any of this. So this is the problem. It's inherently a capitalism problem. If we didn't have capitalism, this wouldn't be an issue. But this is the world we live in. Until we have the RBI, the unlimited basic income that people have been talking about for a very long time, we will always have this kind of problem. People need a way to pay their bills, and I completely understand that. I need a way to pay my bills as well. I'm doing content creation and getting like 200 euros a month or something like that. It barely pays the bills. So I completely understand whenever there's an opportunity for you to get some money out of it, you want your due. But there are events and there are events. And the bottom line is that it kind of, when you're working so hard for so much time for free to organize an event, and then a person that's supposed to be your friend or that you're trying to help have more visibility doesn't recognize what you're doing and just treats it as an economical thing, it leaves you with a bad taste in your mouth. That's the bottom line. It leaves me with a bad taste in my mouth. Like, why am I bothering organizing all this shit when people just want to suck money out of it? Like, I'm not doing this for money. I'm doing this for people to enjoy themselves. Why? So, and I'm not sure how to solve this problem. I think my main idea is that I don't invite those kind of people. We will have open calls, whoever wants to do something, and we will try to get as much funding as possible to pay traveling expenses for people who come from far away, or for food, although most of the funding places where you usually ask for funding for these kind of things strictly say that usually they don't pay for housing fees, they don't pay for food fees, they just pay for specific things that usually aren't covered. And it's extra logistics to get all of those things figured out. So I don't like the bureaucracy of all of that. If someone likes doing that kind of work, please join Associação Inércia and help me take care of that, because I don't think anyone at Associação Inércia likes dealing with that kind of stuff. So yeah, anyways, overall, I think Inércia was a success. We had slightly more people than last year. Not as big growth as I was expecting. Was expecting more people, to be honest with you. But we did have a decent turnout, slightly more than last year. In terms of events, I think we had quality events, a lot more stress-free in terms of organizing. We did have some issues with the internet. That was one of the main issues that we had. We're already discussing ways on how we can fix that for next year. I think the main issue that we had was actually the pricing, because we try to increase the pricing to make it clear that it would be beneficial for you to be a member of Associação Inércia. And it backfired a little bit. We did get a few new members to the association through that compared to last year. But at the same time, there were a lot of people who said that they just would not come. They would just go there for watching for like an hour and not pay any ticket at all, and that 30 euros would be too expensive. Or they wanted to bring the kid, but then it would be 60 euros, would be too expensive. Like, yeah, if you become a member, it's only 24, and if you have a kid, the kid only pays 12 euros because he's a student. So it would be 36 euros, not 60, but people don't read the fine print. So we need to be more clear with that kind of information up front. Instead of having the default being 30, we need to be clear on the way that people can get in for free. I think. I don't know. So yeah, I think that was one of the reasons that scared a lot of people, because this year we did a lot more dissemination of information. We had a lot more flyers being given out. We had more presence online. But just not much new people came in, and I think the price was the main issue. So yeah, next year try to figure out a way for it to be like €5, €10 entrance, so it's more affordable. So people were asking for a one-day ticket, which also didn't make much sense. We ended up adding a buddy system, so if you would have a ticket, your friend could get in for free. So instead of being 30 euros, it would cost you 15 euros. But of course, people didn't read that fine print either. So yeah. Communication. It's all the cruxes of the problem, communication. So we need to communicate that more clearly to have more people next year. But we had a much bigger retro corner. We had more events, more people participating. So I think it was a very cool edition overall, and we solidified our presence here in Almada with our partners. We got to know a few more people that will open a few more doors. And yeah, this leads to the next part that I wanted to talk about, and the video is already going long, but I'm going to talk about this part as well because it's important. So I've been chasing this dream of finding a fixed location for Inércia that doesn't cost me an arm and a leg. And we have been talking with Instituto Piaget about that. Instituto Piaget is this private university. They also have secondary professional school sort of courses. And they have this small campus close to Pregal here. And they had some economical difficulties a few years back. They lost a lot of students and courses, and they refunded themselves. They're all private. They're all privately funded. They don't have any help from the state. They don't have any private investors like dictating where they should go. So they refunded the project, and now they're growing again in terms of different courses that they want to have. They have a fixed number of ones. They have a lot of open classrooms, not open, but vacant classrooms that they haven't used from their previous downsize. So they're trying to see things that they want to do with those places, locations, rooms, that brings value to the students overall. And it's one of the proposals that I've been in talks with Gonçalo Negrão, and that I'm trying to write a proposal down, a concrete proposal for reusing one of the places that they already have, and then beginning the talks for remodeling another building to be an even more ambitious project. So the project is to have, it's the place that I want for Inércia that I've been talking about. It serves as an interpretative center for demoscene, so like a demoscene museum of some sort, where you tell the story of what the demoscene is, not just demoscene, but also digital art in general, free culture in general. So that is the base of the thing. But it would not be the main activity. The main activity would actually be workshops that empower digital art creativity things. So regular meetups to do repair cafes on old machines, regular meetups to have like workshops for either the students of Piaget or members of Associação Inércia, So try to have some dynamics on the place where we go there every single week or every single other week, and we open the place up for people who want to see how other people work in digital art. And at the same time, we have a place where we can keep all the different material that we've been accruing for Inércia and have everything ready to show. So we have the projector ready to screen in case we want to give some workshops. We have different old school machines set up, ready to work, ready to play some demos. We can use the space to explore different areas of activity. Teaching people how to program, have like specific things on how to learn to program from the basic level to the more advanced level for different platforms, different languages, etc. Learning how to do graphics, doing pixel art, doing 3D modeling, maybe even having a 3D printer, a machine, or CNC milling, so people can do manufacturing out of that as well. Also a corner for repairing electronics, as I already mentioned, teaching people how to solder, how electronics works, how they can repair their old computers, and having a station there ready for use when people want to use it. So, and then making music, of course. So a corner for people to learn how to produce music, either in old school platforms or in modern setups, even stage presence. So we have some equipment as well. And a lot of people, if we had a fixed place that would be ours, we have a lot of contacts, some contacts who would willingly donate us some equipment that they don't use anymore, some old computers they don't use, they're just taking up stock in their thing. They would donate it to the museum or the Sala Inércia, audio equipment, all that kind of different things. So yeah, that's the idea that I have. A corner for every single different having all the different platforms as much as possible running, so you can, if someone shows up, you can teach them what the demo scene is about rather quickly. Why is this video off-centered? Okay, now it's fixed. So they can teach them easily how the demo scene has progressed throughout the years, maybe do some videos, have it ready to be presented there. Some talks, some flyers, explaining the basics of demo scene, explaining the basics of free culture and how things started evolving since the 80s to spawn the different areas of activity in digital art and how they evolved. My dream would be even to eventually house some artistic residencies there, if we ever get funding, if we ever get the proper authorizations for that. But that was my dream idea in the beginning. And then having a few different sections for the different stuff, like all the electricity stuff that you ever need, that we have for Inércia, being available there for people to use for projects not leaving the room. Electronics table for people to repair, a place where they can draw and do stuff, both drawing in physical, analog stuff, or digital form, doing music, having all of these kind of areas of expertise being represented there in that place, and having regular workshops on these different areas on different levels to accommodate and bring people and bring interest and dynamics to the place. So yeah, that's the idea. I need to write the proposal down and try to be as honest about what we can accomplish and what we cannot accomplish, because it's very easy to overpromise something, and I don't want to do that, because that's something I always hated in proposals. Whenever I saw that when I was working on companies, there was always, people will always promise too much and then bullshit their way out of it, and that's not me. That's not what we want as Inércia to be. We want to have our feet very well in the ground, saying, this is what we do right now, this is what we can do, this is what we would love to do if we ever get proper money and support to do. So being able to distinguish that very clearly on the proposal text, what we want to do on a short term, and what we want to do on long term. And have specific goals and specific things, you let us use this place for free as long as we keep doing, monthly workshop, bi-weekly meetups, that kind of stuff, and pending an evaluation or something like that. So yeah, and with these things being open to discussion and change, of course, I don't want to be locked down to a single model that would not make sense in, I don't know, 6 months time or something like that. So we need to be careful what we promise, what we propose, what we sign. It's one of the critical things, but I'm very much looking forward to having a place that we can bring some dynamism to, and people stop not hogging, but storing the different stuff that we have for Inércia at their basements, completely unused. I have like so many electricity and Ethernet cables here that I'm not using for anything. I have video cameras that we could be using for, I don't know, computer vision projects, for example. You know, if they are set up in this media lab of sorts, people will use them a lot easier than if they're just locked in storage or in a basement or something like that. So yeah, that's the main thing. That's what I'm going to be focusing on the final days of December now. I'm going to try to narrow down this proposal, and hopefully we'll have the first momentum of 2025 already in that new location to be seen. Just wanted, actually, this is one of the last items that I have on my to-do list before I start working on that, is to record this What's Up December video. So hopefully after this video is done, I can start focusing on that. So yeah, this is what's up. So I have a few other things. A lot of stuff went pending from Enough Records that I'm not picking up again. I have a few books that I'm going to publish. I have a few music releases that have been pending. Some stuff that I have to try to do artwork for as well. But overall, should be okay for January. And of course, in January, I always have to do the highlights video for the entire year of the demo scene. Well, I don't have to, but it would be good for the channel if I did that. I have to do the summary of all the accounting for Enough Records as well, because we always do a transparency report at the end of the year. I have to do some videos for the Love Bite as well, summarizing all of the size coding things that happened throughout the year. So there are always some pending tasks in the beginning of the year that creep up on me, and that I have to take like a week or two off to just do them while doing the demo scene report at the same time. So yeah, one step at a time, and we'll eventually do everything. Anyways, that's it for this video of What's Up December. This is what I've been working on, what I'm planning to do next. More demo scene reports, proposal for the new place. I'm supposed to give some talks at this Pop Top Festival as well, 27 to 29 in Lisbon. I'm not quite sure the exact hour yet, still to be pending. And yeah, more Enough Records things. So these are the 4 things that I'm planning to work on right now, and eventually some stuff for Meteorics as well, because I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be in the jury or not this year. But if I am, I don't want to be taking it too much time. Last year wasn't that bad, but something like last year, not more than that. So anyways, those are the main things that I've been working on. This is what I'm planning. Thanks for watching this very lengthy ranting video. See you next video. Bye bye everybody. Have a great day. Or great winter holidays if that's the case. Bye bye everybody. Take care.